So I'm going to be doing an activity today with this yarn right here, where I'm going to be tying a knot in 3 strands, and I'm going to be braiding a bracelet. I'm actually going to make a 3 strand bracelet, and I'm going to take and measure around my wrist 3 times to get my estimated measurement for one of the strands. And I'm going to take second one and use it as my measuring rod, and then I'll take the third, lay it out, and cut. So now I have 3. Now this technique that I'm going to be using to braid this is probably something slightly different than what you're used to, because typically you would find some way to hold this back to braid the actual rope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one hand to braid and one hand to hold. I'm going to take these 2 strands in one hand, and I'm going to twist them, and then I'm going to take the next 2 strands and twist them. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to hold down I'm going to move my hand that's holding the knot down. So I'm just twisting in and twisting in like this. What that's going to do is it's going to create a very even braid, and with any luck, I won't have to worry about it getting unattached from whatever thing that I've got attaching it to, like a table, or like if you've taped it down or something and it came undone, you might have uneven braids, but as I keep going down, the braid will stay very even. so I'm getting close to the end. I can continue this pretty much up to the very end of this, because with this technique, I don't have to have a whole lot of yarn to be able to twist it. Okay, so you see I have one that's a little bit longer than the others, but that's not going to matter because I'm going to be tying this off anyway. Make sure I've got as little of an end as possible. Now I've got that nice and tight, tight on both ends. I'm going to trim this almost up to the knot because I don't want a whole lot extra. Set that aside. So now I have this rope, this braided rope, and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to choose an area of about 2 inches. So I've folded it over, so it's about 1 inch on either side. And at that point, I'm going to make a knot in the bracelet. I'm just going to knot it there and knot it there. And these are just going to be placeholders for when I make my slip knot. It will leave this space empty. Okay. So I've got a top to the bracelet. So now I'm going to take one of my sides, whichever one I want, and I'm going to knot it to itself, basically. So I can fold it around so I have an idea. But I'm going to knot, I'm going to go over. Basically, I'm creating a loop here. So go over and then back under itself, so it makes a fish, and then through itself to create a knot here. And that knot's going to, I'm going to try and get it up as tight as it possibly can be. And that makes a slip knot. So I've knotted it to itself, basically. And that makes it be able to slide along this end, like that. So now I've got this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over and under, create sort of a fish with itself, and then go through itself. I'm going to do that one again because it's a little bit harder to see on this one. But basically, and I can do it as big as I need to, I'm making a fish with the sort of fish shape here around the other, and then I'm going to go back through itself. So it's like this, almost a pretzel, and pull it tight. And there, I've got a slip knot on this side. Basically, I can make it pull up, but I can also now adjust it. And if I want to grab one knot here, I can tighten it up, and I have my own slip knot bracelet. And this is the 2-inch spot that I left between the two so that it would be clear. I wouldn't have to worry about it. And I could have put beads on this or whatever. It wouldn't have affected the slip knot ability. I just wanted to have a stop point for this knot to stop there. And then you just pull it out. And there you have it. Slip knot bracelet.